What's happening, saber dudes and saber ladies? This is part two to my very first video, my Scraptech. I made it a couple days ago, and I just showed off the saber in the box, the display box that I make it in, and I swung it on for a few seconds, and I was like, yeah, I'll get around and show you the blade with it on. I should have just done it then and there, but you know, learning process, and I realized my video is a lot shorter if I don't do that other half. But I was like, you know what, it's my favorite saber, I might as well make another one. I mean, it can't hurt. I'll show this thing off every time. I'll make 20 videos about this saber if I want to, because it's my channel. But back to the Scraptech, which again is one of my faves. She just feels good. She's loud. This thing is loud. Feels great. More of a show saber. You can duel with it, but it's not an extremely solid core. It's a 1-inch core with a thread on. Cap type thing that's bolted on to the it's bolted on. I mean, it's not medium dueling, but again, I'm not a dueler, so I wouldn't be dueling with this one anyways, because it's the one I like the most. So it can take a hit, but I wouldn't beat it to death, basically, bottom line. I have sabers for if somebody's like, these things can take a beating, I'm like, yes, they can. Like, yes, they can take a beating, and then I hand them the ones that are made to take a beating. Pretty much my nanos, my nano V4s, nano Biscotti version 3, and then the upgraded version of that is the nano Biscotti version 4. It's Plector Labs soundboard. It's very standard, one button, just power on, power off, 16 swings, motion swings, 16 flashes for the version 4. The version 3 is, the sensors not as good. You have to tune them and get in there. I'll get into that in the videos for those. But those are my beater sabers. This is just my showpieces. I tend to put higher end boards, higher end everything, because I like them. I like them still on shelves. Anyways, back to it. Got a Neopixel blade plug. I love that Neopixel blade plug. All right. Retention is I talked about this in another video too, to get that brass, the brass eye. This usually comes knurled and sorry guys, knurled right here, and it's not brass. So I was talking about in another video where I basically sanded that down, all the brass. Do I have one somewhere? Oh yeah, right here. Check it out. See how it's knurled and silver? You grind it down, which is what the Force Awakens rays, when she has the Graphics, the ray and the TFL, the Force Awakens and the Last Jedi, they did this as like their little cosmetic upgrade to make it smooth and brass, and I dig it. So I threw it on here because, of course, you know what I do around here. I brass things. I like to brass stuff up. If you don't know, get with it, son. Alright. Blade plug comes out once again. Neopixel blade plug. I took a ton of medicine. I wasn't feeling good the last few days. Sorry about the coughs and the hacks and stuff. So I'm feeling a little better. Today sucked, but I got a lot of stuff. Girlfriend and family. Sister was like, take all this medicine, so I'm feeling good. Standard 7-pin Neopixel connector, 1-inch blade socket, 1-inch blade, Neopixel. So for those who don't know, there's two different types of lighting systems that you can do. One's a tri-cree, which is an in hilt. The light will be in the hilt, and light will come straight out. And you just have like a tube, like a polycarbonate blade, which is perfect for dueling. Me personally, like I said, I'm a show saber guy, so I want the scrolling lights, and I want the effects, and I want the even brightness all the way up, because with the tri-cree, it just lights up and shoots the light, so it can kind of get dim depending on the blade quality of the blade. But this has Neopixel strips. There's 2 strips back to back, and so basically there's, I forget how many LEDs are in there, but there's, let's just say like 244 LED, like 144 per strip. Of course, this isn't the same size, so maybe a little less, but 144 going that way, just bear with me, 144 going that way, 144 going that way, so there's a lot of LEDs in this thing. 7-pin connector from TCSS, the Custom Saber Shop, where I get a lot of my parts. You can source them everywhere else too, lots of other places. So the glass size of retention, you squeeze that down and it tightens down the blade. There you go. Smooth swing, hybrid mode. Very bright. And then they're random blocks depending on the font. The blaster bolts, it's like if someone was shooting you like I am a Jedi and I can block this. This is very standard font. There's a bunch of fonts on here that are stock from the CFX board, and then a few of my own, well, a few that I put on from font makers, which I'd like to add more, but I haven't been around to getting new ones. Smooth Swing CFX board just came out not long ago. Crystal Focus 10, Collector Labs Crystal Focus 10 just came out not too long ago. So there was not too many fonts at the time. They're starting to come out more now, and that's great. I know there's a couple of fonts by 4s I want to get for my hero. The Daddy Issues one, which people have demoed, and I'm like, yep, gotta have it. Aaron's a cool dude, so I definitely want to support all font makers. Because I mean, they make these things come to life, and when you get a good font maker, you just want to share the knowledge, share the passion for somebody who can purchase those fonts and put it on their works of art. So, but this is stock with the CFX, and this is next door, I believe, and I love it. But the thing is, the swings are so stinking quiet. This is the loudest saber I have, and I mean, listen to that. Disappointing. It comes with a. It is a smooth swing. So the CFX stock has a couple smooth swing fonts already on there. Like Rob from Genesis Custom Sabers has a few. Like, because there's always been 12. Is it 12 Crystal Focus fonts? 9 or 12? I think it's 9. Maybe 12 fonts that come stock on the Crystal Focus. So like when you buy one, you already have fonts. You don't have to go out and buy them. And they're okay. Some of them are okay, but this one had a bunch of CFX, had a bunch of smooth swing ones already on there, and then some that don't, because it'll play an old font. You have an old font that has, that came out years ago. It's not designed for smooth swing. It'll play it like it used to, kind of like a backwards compatibility thing for like a PlayStation or an Xbox. You play your old games backwards compatible type thing. Anyways.
Sound bank selection.
Nightfall.
Hold down the auxiliary and it puts you into the menu where you can scroll up or down. Really cool function of the Crystal Focus for those who do not know the CFX. In the past, a lot of boards, you get to the menu or you hold the button down. You always have to go in sequence. You always have to go from like 1 to 6. So if you were on 3 and you want to get back to 1, you had to go to 4, 5, 6, then back to 1. But with the Crystal Focus, the CFX, Crystal Focus 10, auxiliary get you into the menu, and then auxiliary goes down the list, and activation goes up the list. When you land on a font that you want, you hold the activation down and it sets the font. So that was
Obi-Wan Nightfall.
Nightfall was the first one.
Obi-Wan
Kenobi. This is by Jesse Kirkbride at Kyberphonic Fonts, and his fonts, I've been raving about them. They're just so crisp and clear and just really awesome. And Jesse's a really cool dude. I'm sure a lot of people know about his fonts. He's been up and coming, relatively new to the font game. Very respectable, very cool guy. He's very supportive of other font makers. Like when we get good people in the community, like it's always a good feeling because there can be some shady people. I mean, we try to get them out, filter them out because everyone here is, for fun. I mean, we don't want to deal with a bunch of jerks and lowballers and whatnot. Jesse's a solid dude. 10 out of 10 experience. This is his Obi-Wan. This is from A New Hope, Obi-Wan. Got that pulse set, and like I said before, I like my settings a specific way. With the CFX, and I haven't done it yet. My friend Baines helped me out with that. You can when you get to the spectrum mode, because like if you hold the auxiliary and the ignition button, you tap it. It's called spectrum mode, and I set mine to the wheel. You can do it to a twist, but I think I'd switch this back over to a wheel.
Spectrum.
So it says spectrum. Now we're on the color wheel. Oh no, I'm still twist. Okay, my bad. So you can, if you set it, you can do it to where it's on like a clock. You do like a clock formation, like orientation with the saber, and it'll change. But I have it throttled, so we can just put it on. I think it's like 16 different color profiles preset. So none of these are custom by me. This is stock what you get from the CFX configure. So you got red, that's amber, orangish, yellow, green. There's like 3 different greens. Doing it this way, you got to be kind of quick, or I mean, you got to be really subtle because it swaps quickly. So that was like, see, there's a green, green, and you'll hear these little clicks for each one you're doing. So that's like a gold, amber, orange, which is kind of cool, red, amber, yellow, green, darker green, or it's like a lime green, and a dark green. And you got really light blue, medium blue, like sky blue, and like your dark blue, purple, and so on and so on. I like that blue.
Hello there.
Swing and hold the activation or the auxiliary, gives you a force effect sound.
Hello there.
Hello there, of course, and then hold the activation button and I'm so sorry, auxiliary button, like blasters and lock up. Press and hit something and hit a clash.
Hello there.
Does your other force effect if you have it set.
If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
A little tricky to get, but you can get it down. So hold down auxiliary. Well, actually glad I did that. If you don't hold it down long enough, it just does the boot sound again. So kind of unnecessary, but
Sound bank selection.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hero is my bad. Jump right to that. Hero is Genesis custom sabers, Mad Cow. It's his version of the Luke Return of the Jedi. So got a really fast ignition on that one. So this has got I'll show you guys the music too. So you can ignite it, double tap. I don't have music on this bank. Okay. I've shown it in another video, but depending on the orientation on how you, you can have different power-ons. If you do, the crystal focus will hold up to 4, and so you have power on 1, power on 2, power on 3, power on 4 in your config bank, in your config file in your SD card. And you can have just 1 if you wanted to, or I either do 1 or 4, because I feel like if you don't, it kind of messes with the board a little bit. So 1 is what I found is number 1 is when it's straight up, and then I believe 2 is like that way, 3 is that way, and 4 is that way. So depending on whichever way you orient it. Is that ignition? That ignition. See how it's a little different. I always thought that was pretty cool. All right, let's move on.
Sound bank selection.
Hero.
This is Hoth. I've showed this off before. I'll show it off real quick. Oh, whoops. I'll get back to that because I want to do this one. This is Jesse Kirkbride again, and this is Crimson Leader. Yes, this is a Darth Maul font, and I love this one.
Formerly Darth, now just Maul.
It's from Star Wars Rebels. For those of you who do not know, Darth Maul didn't die when he got chopped in half because Star Wars. People come back from the depths of almost the impossible. Love how it has like it's a hum, but every now and then it like drops pitch and then comes back, so it sounds just aggressive, almost like a self flick, like a fire, like a flame. Very similar to his Phantom Menace sound font too.
Look what has become of you, a rat in the desert.
For those who don't know, Sam Witwer voiced Maul in the animated series. Sam Witwer was also the inspiration for and voice for Starkiller in the video game series. Huge Star Wars fan. Saw him in Star Wars Celebration this last year, and I was just like, cool.
But perhaps it's worse to leave you here, festering in your squalor.
Favorite duel, probably number 2, maybe 1, but Empire Strikes Back is my favorite duel of all time. How could you not love it? That is cinematic sword fight mastery. It's all emotion. It's mysterious. Luke's just getting his ass handed to him the whole time. Star Wars Rebels, the animated show. 4 children, it's very childlike. Some of the best Star Wars stories out there. Dave Filoni, a writer for Disney Animation, Disney now. Star Wars Animation. Luke's his understudy. Knows more about Star Wars than probably most people. He's a great writer. He writes all the shows. He brought Maul back. He did the Clone Wars animated series, about 5 seasons, and it was just amazing. I found that out later on in life, and I watched them. And I don't care if you're an adult. So if a cartoon's good, the cartoon's good. There's no discrediting it because of my age. Get out of here. So they have a duel, him and Obi-Wan, and it's just so good. But the music for that is on here, and it's gorgeous. So you can hold, if it sabers off, you can hold the auxiliary down until it beeps, then it'll play the track. If you have the track in your file, and you config file per the font, this is specific for this font, and your tracks folder is what I put mine in. Or when the saber is already on, you can double tap. Double tap, shut it off. But this is them like staring each other down and talking, and he's just like, why are you here in this desert? They do like a classic samurai standoff. That's why this is so good. And the music's just building up, and you like kick sand on the campfire so it goes to dark, so the only lights you get are the saber lights and their silhouettes for the most part. And he just sits there until he trying to antagonize Obi-Wan to strike. I'm not gonna. Oh, what? I tapped it off. Wow. Talk about anticlimactic. Sorry, guys. You know what? I was about to this close to spoiling that scene anyways. And we gotta move on. You know what? You want to see the rest of that font? You want to hear the rest of this song? Purchase his sound font. There you go. How about that, Jesse?
Sound bank selection.
I'm gonna do this one real quick.
Your tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker.
Then I'll see you in hell.
God, Han Solo's the best, man. We all know that. Who doesn't know Han Solo's the best? Just literally going out into the freezing cold to save his friend, and someone's like, "Stop!" and he's like, "Whatever, dude. My boy's freezing." I showed this on some. If you see my Graphics videos, I have Hoth on that one, I think. So it's pretty cool. The difference in this one is it's got smooth swing Hoth, and that blue is just gorgeous. This is like the white. Well, it's a very light blue, like a sky blue, which I kind of think is in like Empire Strikes Back. If you look at it, depending on the version you have, it's kind of like an ice blue. Yeah, we've got Ben Kenobi one, and then I think I got the Wampa, cutting off the Wampa. Alright, we're about to get out of here, but I gotta show you this before we go. A little Tauntaun scream. Oh, you dirty. Oh. And then it does like a slow, like an ice thing leaving. Alright, come on, give me that Tauntaun. Nope. Don't mess with me, man. Give me my Tauntaun scream. You serious right now? What is going on? Where's my Tauntaun scream? Now I'm mad. Oh, that was it. Because why not?
Sound bank selection.
Bespin. The fight, which actually, you know, right there, huh? Again, what I picture is blue. I don't know if you can hear that, but it has a chain swing. If you swing it a bunch, the crystal focus will lock onto a specific sound and hold it, and when you stop, it'll change a different sound again. So, see how it's different, but then locks onto the same one. Pretty cool effect. All right, I got a song on this one. Had to. Just like dodge this, and he's just Luke swinging like an idiot. He was young, he didn't finish his training. Tried to warn him. Sucker for the music, man. Alright, that's enough of that. Double tap. Hold auxiliary.
Sound bank selection.
Shatter Point.
Shatter Point, which is
This part is over.
stock on the CFX. Sam Jackson, Mace Windu font. Might have a purple blade. If I don't, shame on me. I think I have Dual Fates on here for the song. Oh, you're lucky, Benji. You're about to get shamed by yourself, which I do often. Swings are a little, they're very specific. Are specific to Sam Jackson. Felt right. I needed to put it on something. I think it's, yeah, I needed it to be on prequel era. Who doesn't like that? Dual Fates was my childhood. That's when I was like, learned how to play it on the trumpet in like elementary school band. I was just sitting there like, Liam Hemsworth. Liam Hemsworth. Qui-Gon Jinn, dude. Standing there all cool, like, go ahead and jump in there. Liam Hemsworth. I don't know where that came from. That was fun.
Sound bank selection.
I'm ready.
Jesse Kirkbride again. Like I said, I got a lot of Jesse on here. And I won't make it through all the fonts of this video. It'll be like a 45-minute video. This is Starkiller from one of his if you get Secret Apprentice, I believe is the name of the font. You get it. You essentially get two fonts because in the game you have two different outcomes. You can finish the game on the light side, or you can finish the game on the dark side. Spoiler alert. But this is from the second game. So there's a light side font and a dark side font. This is the light side font. Very cool.
One of the Star Destroyers, it's headed right for me. I gotta get out of here.
Let's get that music. Because I love Starkiller's theme in the game, in the second game. Just feels classic. Horns, orchestra. Sounds a little fantasy too. Very well fantasy. I mean like fantasy like Conan the Barbarian fantasy. Like the women, your children, your lightsabers. Destroy your enemies. Very cool. And then
Sound bank selection.
I'm ready. You will never escape me.
dark side ending where he becomes Starkiller with the helmet. It's very Vader-esque.
Turn to the dark side.
Give it to the dark side.
No, my master, I will not fail you.
That's scary. I'm scared. Music is also from the game, and it's just like Jesse, you pick good music to put on these. Straight up, like get me pumped. You know, when no one's looking, when the camera's off, you guys aren't there, and I'm just in my room, just like I am Starkiller. All right, another long video. Sorry,
Sound
y'all.
bank selection.
You will never.
Shoto. Shoto's very cool. I'm gonna skip past it though, because I gotta get to this one. If you guys stick through these videos, I know they're long, and I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. That's cool of you. This is Tusken Terminator by Jesse Kirkbride. Again, this is like a Kirkbride Kyberphonics saber. There's a ton of them on here. This is Anakin slaughtering all the. Well, spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen Attack of the Clones. First of all, how'd you get here without seeing Attack of the Clones? This is him slaughtering not just the women, but the children. All those Tusken Slayers. Or Tusken Raiders. He slays them. I love this font. Sounds really cool, but he has in a lot of the clashes, you'll hear the Tusken Raiders. A little bit of the awesome. Love that. Music. He's just sitting in that hut, and he's got his mom in his arms, and he's just like first sign of Vader, and he's just like comes out of the tent. Everyone, all the Tusken Raiders are having a nice campfire, And he just cuts off like 2 heads. Good stuff. And they're like animals, and I slaughtered them like animals.
Sound bank selection.
I sense much fear in you.
This is Yoda's
The dark side I sense
from
in
Attack of the
you.
Clones. Love it. I'm a sucker for that ignition. That little bing.
Is the path to the dark side.
This is Yoda's from, like, if you've seen Attack of the Clones, when like Dooku and him are facing off, and he's like, you know what, you want to fight lightsabers? He opens his like thing, and then he uses the Force to catch it, and then he jumps, and he's like, I kind of wish that was on there, or maybe it's, hold on, I might have it.
Hard to see.
No, it's hard to see the dark side. Okay. Alright.
Sound bank selection.
I sense much fear. That lightsaber, it belongs to me.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it, you guys, because there's like 15 more fonts on this thing.
Come get it.
We'll end on that. One of my TFA sound fonts. Again, this video's long. Obviously, I indulge a little bit longer than I probably should to make a quick video, but if you're here and you're interested, we'll play, because I like to play. Alright, that'll conclude for now. At this time, my Scraptech. My beautiful, my precious, my baby. Ooh, it's good stuff. And just to reiterate, actually, if you made it this long too, I talked about in my first video reveal of this saber. I said that I use lambskin leather, which I do, and I mentioned that I got it at Hobby Lobby, which I did. And there are a lot of Hobby Lobby like materials for leather. They're faux leather though. You don't want to go to like where the main section is for where you would think. You'll see a lot of sheets and rules for leather, and you can get it cut however you want to. Well, those are all fake. They're usable. I don't want to name, you know, companies that use them, but they're just very passable leathers. This is actually in the leather section. There's a tooling section for leather tooling, and a couple strips of leather too, and you can even find like scrap bits in like a bag, but usually they'll have like either black, which I want to try to get next, or a brown, and it's rolled up, and it's like a long sheet, and it's probably like 20 to 30 bucks or something like that. And I snagged it just to take a chance on it, and you unroll it, and it's this long strip. You can cut it however you want to, wrap your saber, hydrate it. I used, in all honesty, man, I used what I had. A lot of people, like Jordan Eugene, used to always say that Openhoff, I think, leather hydrate. Might be saying that wrong. I used, in all honesty, coconut oil, and then I had shoe polish that I've used before for like different props, like some clothing and stuff like that. Like you kind of scrape on this like shoe polish. You can get shoe polish at like Walmart or anywhere really. And I used black and a darker brown, and I hit that a couple times, and then I used the coconut oil and let that sit in. And what that did was that made this leather just so soft. I mean, it is, a lot of people pick it up and they're like, ooh, and I'm like, I know, right? Spent a lot of time hydrating and getting this leather to just feel old and used and good. I mean, the more you hold it, the more you handle it, the more your natural oils get in there, especially like once you put that coconut oil on. And I did a bunch of passes of that, and that's the result. It used to be darker. I think I messed up by adding a lot of coconut oil, because coconut oil can also strip the color down, because it's so oily, plus your natural oils will get on it. But I really dig it. This brown kind of reminds me of what, like, speaking of Tusken Raiders, this is like a Tusken brown, as if I had to, like, describe their colors. Which is why I did the interior of the box brown, too. Because originally I was like, maybe this is like a Tusken Jedi. Seemed like cool to me, but there you go. Thanks for sticking in, guys. Appreciate you listening to the madness, and I'll see you in the next video.